Hi everybody, welcome to this week's video. This week we're on the road again, part 2 of the Idaho 2023 road trip. And we're basically headed out of Ontario. By the end of the video we'll be up through the SawTooth Mountains and to Stanley, Idaho. Lots of small towns, and for some reason we're out off through the countryside at this point. We are taking the road less traveled. Mom and Dad really like to take the road less traveled, as they say. So rather than taking highways, we're gonna go up the back way. And there's not supposed to be too much snow. Mom and Dad checked. There was no road advisories for this route, so. And we are on the Bronxter, so it should be fine. Definitely some characters that live out in the farm country. And just amazing skies and clouds. Way different than on the coast where I live, so. And definitely watch till the end of the video. It's the last part up into Stanley is pretty spectacular. And this part, this part has its very own charm as well. Some pretty amazing views. And we will have some sun, so sorry about the sun, but there's not much we can do about it. And it's not too bad. Sure makes some pretty amazing skies against the rock, though. With the river right beside. It is a very pretty part of the drive. And, spoiler alert, Mom and Dad got lost. They missed a turn. And you'll kind of figure out when they turned around and went, oh, no, this can't be the right way. But they were relying on the GPS, and it kept losing itself in the, down in canyons, and once you get up into the SawTooth Mountains there's some pretty serious canyons. Winding down along rivers and making pretty views. Keep watching and we'll get there. And this, well, like most of the road trip videos, we try and condense a whole day into one video. It makes for a little bit longer video, that's for sure. This one's what 30 minutes or something like that. So there's just a ton that gets cut out. And if you would like to see virtually uncut, there's some stuff you got to cut out because, well, it's personal or so. But a virtually uncut video of the trip, it would be hours and hours and hours long. Dad shoots hours and hours and hours of video for just try and get the right shot. So, if you'd like to see something like that, leave a comment. Let Dad know. Just a very, very pretty drive. And surprising amount of traffic. And as you can see, we're getting a little more hilly as on and off the river, but basically following the river. In this part of the journey, and this is definitely an earlier part of the journey. We would actually stop here. It seems like a lot of places in the SawTooth forest here are fee-based. So if you stop and do something, then they want you to pay a fee, which that keeps stuff up. No problem with that. But we also have a long ways to go yet today. So. But wanted to share that with everybody. Just stuff along the road. There's for the most part, there's what you see. There's really not a lot of people out this way. And here pretty soon there'll be quite a bit of snow up this way too, so. And there are people up here, that's for sure. We saw a fair amount of little communities, along the trip, along the way. Mostly we saw really pretty scenery. Just like you're seeing. Just very pretty. And this is kind of where Mom and Dad went, wait a minute. This can't be right. I mean, Mom Mom and Dad had traveled the road less traveled a lot. And even on the road less traveled, you don't have one-way bridges, so. And pretty much at this point, you know, it was, okay, let's turn around, stop. And Mom and Dad always carry paper maps. They don't, they don't trust, regular maps. And after figuring out where we were, I turned around, ran down the road, and stopped at a different campground, which is actually closed, and they didn't want us to pay money to hang out here for a minute, so welcome to the Big Eddy Campground. It's very, very pretty. We'll walk down to the water here in just a minute. And unfortunately, we can't stay too long, but it's kind of a gnarly stump with a big rock next to it. Huh? Looks like a pretty nice place. It is pretty close to the road. But it's really pretty too. Tons of big trees. And you don't want to touch that stuff. You get into that stuff and it doesn't come out. You gotta clip that stuff out. That pitch from the tree. Anyway, back on the road again. Headed in the right direction. Back along the river. But definitely a different view of the river too, going this way. It's one of the really nice things about when you go somewhere, then on the way back you have a completely different view of everything. It's kind of the same stuff, but it's way different. You can see that just from the. Okay. Here's where we should have turned and we didn't. So now we're headed up. Now we're headed up. There's lots and lots of up. And well, from this part of the video on, some down too, but mostly up. And as always, chasing a river. It is a different river than we were just chasing a few minutes ago. But it's also very, very pretty. lots of fall colors as we get up into the more of the river, and clouds are being rather spectacular themselves. Kind of amazing how the landscape changes. Okay. This looks like it could be interesting. They got storyboards. Okay. And you can, pause and hopefully be able to read that in the video there, if you would care to. Dad's gonna try something. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Stick the camera up here and see if you can see through the. What do you think? Leave a comment if you can see. And definitely thank you. Wildlife Canyon Scenic Byway. And we did not see really any wildlife along the way. Yeah. But uphill, downhill, mostly uphill, and windy roads. But as you can see as you're riding along here, it's kind of amazing views around every corner. That's why they call them the SawTooth. This part of the drive is getting pretty dramatic. And yeah, that's snow, and that's kind of where we're headed. Dad was wishing he could get a camera to be up high looking over the top of everything, but we don't have that kind of stuff to do that. Maybe someday. We'll cruise along here. Quiet down here for a minute and let everybody just kind of enjoy the drive. We're, of course, still headed uphill. We'll pretty much be headed uphill until we get to Stanley, I think. That's what Mom and Dad were saying. But still little towns along the way. And we're in the SawTooth. Oh, I can't remember, but we're in a national or a state park, one of the two. National Forest, SawTooth Forest, I think. National Forest. I'm not sure. And little small places. you'll go by someplace and there'll just be a few houses there. Then back along the river and nothing at all. And definitely the windy roads are, you gotta pay attention. And I did lay down the majority of the time, but sometimes you want to stand up and look. Another one of those little tiny, well, I don't know if you could call it a town, maybe more like a settlement? I don't know. We've been climbing pretty steady here for a while. Clouds are looking a bit more ominous, and seeing a little more snow here and there, and kind of like that up there. And we'll see snow here before too long. There was a few different places we saw snow and actually had snow falling. Keep watching if you want to go through the snowfall. It was kind of funny. We pulled in behind that guy and he pulled right out. But Dad was going to jump out real quick and just going to share this view with everybody. That's the direction we're headed over there. So I wasn't kidding about the snow. You can pause if you want to read that, but kind of shows where we are and where the road goes. Yeah, back on the road again. Yeah, this was an all-day drive, so we're making some pretty big jumps time-wise, and just to keep this video reasonably short. As you can see, we're kind of getting up there where we were seeing. Yeah, there's a little bit of snow. Hopefully you can see that. If the GoPro picked it up. Yes, there wasn't a huge amount of snow, and there a couple spots where there was just a little bit of snow on the road, but the Bronxter had no problem with it whatsoever. And if you watched last week's video, then you know that the Bronxter is new to Mom and Dad and me, and this is pretty much its test drive. So, all totaled, it was just over 1,400 miles that we went on this road trip. Kind of getting into more and more snow. And it's actually kind of perfect like this when the snow is in the trees and on the side of the road, but not really on the road. And like I was saying, there was a couple places where there was just a little bit of snow on the road, but not much at all, and then blue sky again, but still snow-covered trees. And clear roads. Dad was actually real happy about that. He didn't want to drive in slick roads up in the mountains. But when it's like this, it sure is pretty. And keep watching. Once we get to Stanley, there's some pretty impressive mountains that are right by there. Not part of the SawTooth Mountains, of course, but snow-covered, looking rather spectacular. And yeah, from sunshine to more snow. Little tiny bit on the road, but not enough to be concerned about, and it really didn't last all that long. And once again, blue sky ahead. Yeah, pretty much. If you're not familiar with Stanley, Idaho, and I wasn't, yeah, 26 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not. That's just, well, little below freezing, no matter what scale you use. I don't know what that translates to in Celsius. And the huge meadow. You can imagine that would be full of cattle in the springtime, summertime, when the grass is growing. And surprisingly enough, one of Stanley, Idaho's claims to fame is one of the coldest places in the continental United States. It gets colder there than any other place. I don't know if they hold records, but they're when they're looking at different times, in the winter time, it's the coldest one around, the coldest place. And there's those mountains I was talking about. And the cabin we were staying in, that was, had a rather nice view of those. Just, well, not out the window, but out the door. And if you walked just a little bit, you had a pretty unobstructed view. That'll be in next week's video. We'll look around where we're staying a bit. And here we are coming into Stanley, thriving metropolis. But we'll drive through town. We'll go up to Stanley Lake, check that out, and have some. Well, we'll see how long the video is once we look around Stanley and all that, and maybe we'll have the drive home next week, and maybe it'll be the week after. But this is pretty much Stanley. There's actually a bit more to town. This is heading back the other way. We'll be pulling up to the where we're staying. Oh wait, no, sorry about that. This turning around, kind of towards the end of town. There's a gas station and a little store and stuff. Grocery store. And run up the road here to where we're staying. And we'll have a bit more of that about that next week. They're really neat little log cabins, a bunch of them. Not a bunch, well, quite a few. There's what, 8, 10, something like that. And, really nice place. I'll give everybody just a little glimpse of it this week, and a bunch more next week in the area. There's the office. Yeah. Looking outside, well, right outside the cabin there. We're in number 5. And yeah, it's still really cold, so. But I do want to thank everybody for watching for sure. If you're still watching this far into the video, we're just about done. We are in Stanley, and there's the cabin. We'll be out of here before too long, so let me before this video ends, let me say stay safe, be happy, and until next week, yeah, have fun, stay safe, and until next week, cheers. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my videos, stick upon the thumbs up button. And for the newest, go ahead and paw that subscribe button. Thanks again. Cheers.